Good evening. We are gathered here at Sabha to experience a life of architecture, a thoughtful retrospective of architect Girish Doshi's 4-decade-long journey aimed to give a glimpse into a life devoted to architecture as a means of service to society. This event is curated by Exchange, an initiative by STEG, Cadence, and 100 Hands, 3 Bengaluru-based architectural firms. Exchange aims to curate events that promote dialogue revolving around architecture and design in the evolving landscape of the city. These events would not be possible without the support of Mr. Siddharth, Mr. Vikram, and Mr. Rohit of Quatrolux, Ram Ceramics, and PC Sampath. Previous events include presentations by Peter Rich and Peter Stachbury. I welcome architect Girish Doshi and his wife Sadhana to Sabha. It is my privilege to introduce Girish sir, whose work is shaped as much by lived experience as by architectural discipline. He grew up in a modest Gujarati household in compact urban settings where shared rooms, courtyards, and streets formed an extension of domestic life. These early environments instilled in him an instinctive understanding of density, scale, and restraint, an understanding that continues to inform his residential work. From an early age, drawing became his language of observation. What began as an instinct slowly turned into a lifelong tool for thinking, questioning, and making. This early discipline found rigorous direction during his formative years working with the Pritzker laureate, B.V. Doshi at Sangath. Under Doshi's mentorship, Girish sir was exposed to an architectural culture grounded in patience, repetition, and moral responsibility. After nearly a decade of learning through practice, he chose to establish his independent practice, Navakar Architects in Pune. Girish sir has made a conscious decision to work slowly and deliberately. Much of his early work focused on houses, which became laboratories for exploring light, section, structure, and material economy. These projects demonstrate a consistent refusal of excess, favoring instead spatial depth, proportion, and lived comfort. The exhibition on display is a reflection of this long, careful inquiry. The emphasis remains on how architecture is experienced over time, how it is entered, inhabited, and remembered. Please join me in welcoming architect Girish Doshi.
Thank you, Sanjay Mohe sir, Bijoy, Ramchandran, and of course, Exchange, 100 Hands, Cadence, and sponsors. I'm really delighted to be here in Bangalore. My younger son stays here, so it was a double thing for me to stay with him and show you my work. And to me, exhibition is just an kind of an excuse where all people come together and we can have discourse in architecture wherever I go, like Kolhapur. So it is so nice that through these exhibitions, one can actually meet people. And so here I'm going to show you some of my work, which the complete story is there. So I think hopefully you will enjoy. So that's me in the corner, and my family, 3 sons, and my sister, Bina, and my mother, father. This is my college. It is called AKM, Abhinav Kala Mahavidyalaya. I joined in 1974. These are my very important 5 teachers. First is Parshikar sir, then Sardesai sir, Santa sir, Padde sir, great history teacher, and Soe sir, he taught us how to make drawings and drainage and other stuff, you know. So absolutely marvelous people. First year, I failed in my first year. I'm a Gujarati Banya son. So already my father had a problem that one shop which Girish could have started, is gone, and now he's failed also. So I didn't know what to do, and instead of going home, I went to library, and luckily we had a good 5 books of Corbusier, and my English was bad, but somehow I could understand cross-section, plan, and I started learning through that. So this became my favorite house, Villa Savoy. It is amazing, the proportion, the way it is done. It is amazing that 1927 this house is done. It will complete 100 years. And those columns are just 20 centimeter diameter. This house, I started loving the smallness of it. And Azuma house, done by Taro Ando. And the way he used, drawings, how it makes, and suddenly giving a statement in the conservative Japanese society, coming up with something which is so nice, central court, bridge, and very tight spaces. Then, of course, Louis Barragan, and to till that, Louis Barragan is like always inspiration whenever I see. And the only thing which during my practice I learned is that Louis Barragan's architecture is about wall, And in my load-bearing buildings, wall becomes very important. So how I play with my wall on 4 elevation, mostly I go back again and again to him. That's both the master together in Ahmedabad. Corbusier, of course, I copied him, actually, not studied. Even I copied in my drawings, Corbusier. And then I thought that after 5 years of living with Corbusier, where I should go. So there should be someone who worked with Corbusier. And luckily, in 1979, I went to NASA in Sept. And first time I had seen Doshi in his Patani sandal, lenga, and purple jabba with long hair, bundle like this, and specs, So somebody told me that his office he's starting new office nearby. So I took a rickshaw, went to Sangat, and then I thought that I must come here only. And I went to Sangat, but Doshi was not ready to take me, and he said that you Pune people, he's actually from Pune, but he told me that you Pune people come without appointment, come with a drawing and bag. But actually he also did that to Corbusier, actually, long back. But anyway, so I said, okay, so what should I do? So he said, you go to Hasmukh Patel, we'll see, So I started going to Hasmukh Patel, but Hasmukh Patel office is very nice. It starts at sharp 9, ends at sharp 6, The peon comes and closes door at 6 o'clock. So I took my cycle, have my dinner, and straight away to Doshi's office without his knowledge, because one of my friends was working there. And one day on Sunday, I was sitting there in the lawn, and Doshi, for some work, he came, and he knew that this guy is a Marathi-speaking boy from Pune. So he came to me angrily and told me, "Tumhala kai pahije? Tumhala kai pahije?" I said, "Sir, simply I have come to work with you, and without doing that, I'm not going back. So suppose I don't give you money, what happens?" I said, "Still I will work." "Okay, so I will give you less money." I said, "Okay. So when are you starting?" I said, "I'm going inside because already I'm working here." So he told me, "How can you do that?" So then I went in and I started working, And then unfortunately, first 1 year was so bad. I will show you how. So this is my, after some day, some work was given to me in studio. That is the building I worked on. This is MP Electricity Board's building in Jabalpur, pretty large building. And luckily I was from day one. This is my guru, Suryakant Bhavsar, excellent architect who worked with Doshi for almost 30 years. And then, since Doshi didn't give me so much work, I started traveling, and first thing came to me is Doshi's house. So this plus, where all the services are there, staircase, toilets, the way Louis Kahn says, service bay and sword bay. and 4 corners are open where you can get a cross ventilation. And each direction, like this is the west side, you will have more deeper shade, And I thought that Ahmedabad is an amazing city, I never heard all this, And I started learning. You can see one chajja here, which I will explain you in next slide. So that is a chajja. So he made this, and in the summer, you can put a desert cooler on top, and cold air will come in. And otherwise, always you get such a nice light there. And all the service bays, then he opened it and made it larger. This is a west side veranda. Most of the time, Doshi will sit here and Kamuben next to him. And almost 30, 40 years, we used to see them sitting there, And there will be many books here on right-hand side. We will look at garden. There is a waterfall and amazing house, This is the backyard. He later added this. And then he started telling people that I had this old house here, and I added this house, So I said, my God, Doshi is something, And then this is Charles Korea, winter section, summer section. And all this was very new to us. And on our cycle, we used to go carefully. This is another fantastic house. This is Hasmukh Patel's house. This yellow you can see as a services. This color, 2 colors, has a overhang, on top where you have bedrooms. You can see upper part. This is one bedroom, another bedroom, and beautiful house. There are 2 photographs, and you can see how the cross section is worked. So again, that system and the strength of plan is always there, and this is the house. And Doshi told me once that when you stay in one house for 40, 50, 60 years, that is where you are rooted, Never you should change your houses, So luckily, Doshi stayed in his house for 60, 70 years. Even Hasmukh Bhai till end was here. And extremely good house. When you go there, you will understand. Beautiful detailing and utterly simple, Then the most important thing which happened to me is this house, which is Leo Pereira's house, next to Doshi's Sangat studio. And in the morning walk, I suddenly discovered this house, that small, tiny house is happening. And every day I started going there. And you can see the cross-section, the way windows are. This window is at lower level, and there is a tiny window here. You can look out. You can look at the lawn. And purposely, he took that lawn up, So when you sit inside, this is a khadda sitting, sunken sitting, and you can look out, and very beautiful. And again, you can see the system, same system as Doshi's house, but total proportions are absolutely different, He's a Christian, and beautiful furniture, very beautiful, minimal furniture. Both of them, husband, wife, and they are still there in the same house for so many years now, almost 50 years now. And you can see axonometric of that, absolute restraint, no parapet walls and tiny skylight on basin, and So when you go there, you will know that so many things is happening to this house, and it is amazing, See, this is the house. Extremely simple, but look at the details. This wall is separated out, and luckily, Uday Andhare is renovating this house, so it will stay long. So this is another view of that house. You see the window, and this is from inside. So all the view is taken down. You walk down to the sitting, and when you sit here, you can see the green there outside. So Leo Pereira says, I first become aware of Girish while on my walks, when I realized that was someone walking 20 yards behind me. So this is a recent interview. And I see Girish's work now and find that perhaps he continued to follow me from afar, for there is the same sensitivity to people and scale and light that I try to bring to my work. His first book, with a selection of 9 simple yet beautiful houses, demonstrate this clearly. He has my best wishes and blessings. This is just July 2025. And my complete circus was over. Then now I want to talk about studio. This is one of the greatest studio. on earth actually, where so many things used to happen, models, photographs, and when I excitedly went to Doshi saying that Leo Pereira is doing a small house, So I just showed like he's doing a small house. So Doshi said, how much, this or this much, I said, no, this much, And he said, okay, what you do, in our studio, we have 100 feet long studio. On both sides, there is a pin-up board. What you do, on one side, to the scale, you put Leo's house, and another side, you put a Eiffel Tower. And in between, whatever scale you find, you just start putting a building. And that was there for almost 15 days. So this is the way office used to run. And Doshi always created something which staff and students and everyone will understand. So this is a kind of a studio where you have all the trainees goes up. Unfortunately, I couldn't go here also. I was not given permission to go here also. But anyway, eventually I got this table. So there was this another guy called Lakshman Bhai, and once he came from this program from Canada. Doshi had this program in Canada, McGill University. So after doing that for 6 months, Lakshman Bhai Patel came back, and one day he was very angry. So he said that, oh my God, so he's basically a Patel. So, but anyway, he said, oh my God, someone from top said, I'm sitting here. Yes, what? So that is the kind of a studio we had, an amazing studio. These are the sketches. Every day Doshi will do beautiful sketches, sketch after sketch, sketch after sketch, He will never stop. And this is another genius, Purushottam Bhai. We used to say these two people can run the office, Doshi and Purushottam Bhai. Purushottam Bhai was a model maker. And to my luck, I was, after Doshi's thing, I was sent to this khadda sitting. It is like a kala pani, but I was very happy because I got this gentleman with me. And he used to do amazing model, And this is what I feel that each studio should have, Each studio should have one Purushottam Bhai. And they used to discuss 113, 226, 140. So I never understood what they are trying to say. So they were talking in terms of modular. And then they will fight, Purushottam will say, no, we should do 113. Doshi will, na hu tamne kahu, 140 karo tame. And these are the colleagues, Suryakant Bhavsar, amazing man, Sidpura. There is a joke related to Sidpura. His height is slightly short, And he went to Baroda for site visit. And runningly he came back, in studio and told Doshi that that railing height is too high. So Doshi said, how much? He said, this much. Are barabar se hai. Jao kaam karo. This is Chandu Bhai, Harish Bhai, Natar Bhai, Anil Khare, extraordinary house, Marathi chap, but he's like a king, In Bhadra, right in the center of Ahmedabad, he has got his beautiful house. So this is the drawing which I made in pastel, then it was reprinted in, and that's Doshi with his 4-pocket shirt, designed by elder daughter, beautiful clothes, and always this diary and pen will be there, And he had such a friends, like he will go to Rajkot, tell Kishore Bhai, you start a college, and he will help, And then with Chaya, he will go, and they started the college in Rajkot, IPSA. I worked on this project. It is MP Electricity Board's huge office building. Each one is hexagonal unit, and this is how each and every drawing of this building is gone through me. I used to go to Stein's office for structure and then go to site. This is a team, Bhavsar, Doshi, and all the... And I worked on that building so much so that I told once Doshi that my eyes will be hexagonal now, So please give me some other work, So, उन्होंने दया किया, he said, okay, for some while you will do work on Bangalore project, and that was my favorite project. So, I started, a few months I worked on Bangalore project. I'm so happy that I have worked on this project. So then it was a time to leave Doshi, and I wanted to say bye-bye to him. So his 61st birthday was there, and he called all of us to his house for lunch. So I went there, and I took 4 o'clock bus. His birthday is on 26th August. My birthday is on 27th August. So I took a bus on 4 o'clock. Next morning, I was in my office. That is this office, Sadhna. Then Arjun now is an architect, and my elder brother's daughter, Purvi. And I started my office in 10 by 20 space. And my mother actually went to meet Doshi, and she said that I want to take Sadhna and Arjun home. You keep Girish with you. Whenever you feel like you need, send him. So Doshi started laughing, and he said, your mother is very kadak. I said, no, my mother is not kadak. She loves me. And then Doshi said, you become a clerk of work for this building in Pune. It is called Yashoda now. It was then Maharashtra Institute of Development Administration. Beautiful building where Doshi controlled the scale. So complete floor is below this amphitheater. So there are 2 corridors. One is open to sky, another is closed, and beautiful building. Then another great thing happened in my life. Vishnu Joshi. Vishnu Joshi is an absolutely great engineer. He was part of Stein's office. When Stein's office started, there were 5 to 6 people. One of them was Vishnu Joshi. He came from Harvard, and he was a structural engineer for Stein Doshi Balla. Then there was a Jain, Mr. Jain, who were doing air condition, Nagabhushan, and so many people. And then they started this office where everything is given under one roof. So I started learning from him. This is an express tower, one of the first steel building of India done by Vishnu Joshi. Then escort factories, all escort factories, beautiful roof which was developed by Vishnu Joshi. He left all that partially to come to a small village called Pain in near Mumbai, and he did this 50 feet diameter ferrocement house for himself. This is his jeep, it doesn't have gear, so they put it on a slope, and his wife used to drive that. And these are all experiments, ferrocement experiments. And he kept on doing these houses, all kinds of experiments. And I was very lucky to be part of his experiments. This is me, this is V.D. Joshi, and he taught me this technique of Vishnu Paddhat, now I call it, where you make this concrete block with a small machine, and there is a half-baked mixture. And now my son have this egg laying machine where we can do every day 1,000 blocks. That machine was giving us 200 blocks per day. And then this kind of revolution started. Like I started making, so my first 20 years were design and build practice. In each corner we will have one reinforcement for earthquake, and all these techniques I learned actually from Vishnu Joshi. So this used to call ferrogami, and this is poured rubble masonry, just 8-inch, 200 mm thick, and then ready-made staircases to put and do housing, So we had a person called Dilip Tupere. He's still with me. For the last 45 years, he's working for me, and we keep doing ferrocement experiments. All this is easily possible in ferrocement. Same thing if you want to do with centering, it is impossible. Water tanks, very large 10,000 liter tanks we do in ferrocement. And catamaran, so this is in a lake, Murshi Lake, where eye camp and doctor help can be given to 40 villages. And just see the reinforcement and what happens to it. So amazing skill. This is all his designs actually, where he independently, and this is his Dattu, who is one of the best of ferrocement, and total team of his is still working with me from Penn. Then my son took over and he started doing this. This is for Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, almost 35 meter by 25 meter dome he did. And you can see one tank there. So 1,000 people can sit here. All kinds of techniques and things. So with good worker, you can do such a thin work, you know. This is a toilet, housing. Complete housing is in ferrocement, including bed and everything. And these are the two toilets here, male and female. And you can see that dome there, you know. And this is a hostel actually, hostel building. And luckily we have structure engineer called Totue. He helps him. And center line and everything is done on site, you know. He has to stand there and do this because drawings will be not enough. But the workers are very well trained, you know. They jump on and they start doing it. And this is a very large retaining wall, you can see here. So, yeah, you can see here. There is now garden here, half mitti is there, and there is a China mosaic on top. This is from inside. And this is a water storage tank which we learned from Vishnu Joshi. And he said that each village, you go and you must do this one free of cost. You don't take any charge. Just raise the fund and just try to do this. So this is 1.5 lakh liter tank, 75,000 liter at lower level, 75,000 at upper level. And the way they do it, you know, you see, what, you know, they are kalakar, you know, I would not say that worker, you know. So beautiful, he's inside actually. And these bamboos are put because otherwise it runs away, you know, with the wind. And it has happened, you know, actually. Then I got this Vishnu Joshi's building to be done, again, completely in ferrocement and Vishnu Paddat, where, you know, there are 10 flats of different size and different thing happening inside. If you see the cross section, there is a triplex, duplex, and everything, you know. So this was almost my first project where I could learn that technique at larger scale. This is what inside is, you know. There are some fish and you can see the life become very important to me, and so all the terraces, house from inside. You can see here one fish is separate and one fish is trying to run away. This is the central court. This is another, you know, so for this no contractor was ready. So Girish Joshi said that you have to go and you do. So I did 55 trips in my old Maruti van, and it is 100 feet high building. You can see here. So with extremely thin steel, and it has 3 floors. Then I started my own office after my grandmother's death. One room was there, which I converted into this 3.5 meter by 7 meter space, where our outer part is like my main office, where meeting can happen, and then I have a studio inside with unique sitting, you know, at 140 centimeter you can sit and all. So these are some photographs of that office. Everything is in plywood, but I did it like architecture. One architect does, you know, instead of furniture. There is a mirror, periscope, you know, through this you look out. There is another mirror where I can see plantation. 70% is the scale, you know, 70 is the scale. This is upper part. You can see the periscope. From here you can look down. And then 9 houses, which I'm really proud of, because each house has a very different sentiments, different scale, And I kept on working on small houses. So this is my story of my first house. This is my friend Mukesh Dedia. And after coming back from Doshi's office, I thought that लोग ऐसे ना गुलाब के पत्ते डाल के मुझे बुलाएंगे, ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं. I didn't get 4 to 5 years no work, and somehow I survived on interiors. But then accidentally I met my friend here, and I told him that I was supposed to do your house, and you already have done your house recently. So he said, what is there? I will sell it, And really he sold it for 9 lakh rupees, and we again started his new house. So that is this house. So this is 40 feet by 60 feet. That is the plot we could buy in 4 lakh rupees. And there is a central court and grids like 350 centimeter here, 280 centimeter here, and 350 here. Everything is divisible by 70 centimeter. And then cross section was very important to me. So very tight staircases, and I used to con PMC, Pune Municipal Corporation, because this site is just 2100, and which is not allowed. So I used to show this site, and so most of my spaces are very tight, but somehow I managed it, and this is the view of that house. And then you dream like Charles Correa, sun and moon, and like. Then this is 7 punctures for Sare Gama Padmanisha, because he is a musician, and I thought that he will go here and produce a real music, but he never did that. But it's very interesting, you can go here, and this is a pantry. On Sunday you can sit here and things like that. Same load-bearing concrete blocks, and then I started with these windows, so I used to separate out, the main structure from other wall, This is a second house called Purani House. A very interesting story to this also. One day I was going to one of my site, and Purani stopped me on my scooter saying that, "Are you Girish Doshi?" I said, "Yes, I am Girish." So I asked him, "Are you Dhiren Purani?" He said, "Yes." So I asked him, "What you do?" So he said that I'm in a Pashu Khadya business, I sell trucks of, and then he asked me, "What you do?" I said, "I'm an architect." So he said, "Architect su kare?" I said, "Architect makan banave." So he took a stand from my, and he pulled me to 2,000 feet and told me, "I have to start my building here." So that was a 4,000 square feet plot. And I said, "When you want to start?" So he said, "Tomorrow morning." I said, "Okay." Because I worked with Doshi for so many years, so I knew few techniques, how to. So I took out my diary and I said that your plot has a 2 road. You just leave 15 feet here and 10 feet there, And you start digging, Put little bit 1 feet more for footing, And you come back to me. And I knew that it's a very hard startup, so he will come after a month. But within 7 days he came and told me that excavation is done. So I said, "How much you went?" He said, "I went up to 8 feet. So I said, "My God, I told you just 3 feet and you have gone." So he said, "Oh, machine mafat ma marigi, So then I said, "You go back and dig more, no? We'll do some different kind of house, But anyway, that is how that house started. And I made a very large model, thermocol model at 30 scale. And I told him, every time he come to my office, I gave him a cutter, Whatever you want to change, please change, I will follow you, That is how that, but somehow, that house become very amazing house, the way its cross section is. This is that basement because of that digging, which I never intended. So, and then I did 20 by 20 column here. And after other buildings came up, I thought that this will give away and the whole building will come down. So I did this extra cover to it, And this is the house, So I did 2 courtyards. And so at that point of time, these are the houses which people used to like, And suddenly this house came and people started saying that this guy doesn't have money, something has gone. something has gone wrong, So there is no chajja, there is no decoration. But then I was very happy. I used to capture sky, and so I was in my dream. And luckily, Kurani didn't understand anything. He said, "Okay, this is a house for me." But there is some amazing spaces you can look through, and for the kids, this was the fun part. You can see rain here and stars here. And then I started understanding the grids. So this is a Gandhi house where they wanted a slightly higher building. Like he was a Vaishnav, so from Nathdwara Haveli scale he wanted. So I gave him slightly higher scale. This is like 11 feet here. And he got this from Nathdwara painting. Some nice spaces happening here. Now this is Mr. and Mrs. Iyer house. Luckily, Mr. Iyer is here. So at that point of time, when I said Mr. and Mrs. Iyer house, that film was there, So they were a bit angry, But now we are very good friends, and he's here. Especially came to see my show. So I added more slides in this. So please bear me. So this, to me, elevation is what happens inside, So whatever I do inside, it comes out. And this is a 32 feet wide, 8 feet 4 base, and sunken sitting. I don't like furniture, so I try to keep furniture minimum. And but beautiful light, sunlight, and water pond and fountains. And this is very special. This is where old photographs. He is a Tamil Brahmin, Ramaswamy Iyer, and they have this beautiful old albums, black and white. So I said, let us put this in a railing. So I have 2 glasses, and both the sides these photographs are there. And whenever people used to come from Chennai, they used to love this, And in this photo, always you have that first photo you take for your scooter license, where you always look wanted, So that photo is there. And but beautiful flooring, this Jaisalmer West, I got it from Rajasthan. And father was very happy because till kitchen, he can look through his bedroom. So certain things I learned that, the people inside the house are very important. And then we did a ramp also till here later on. And there is a story where I just talk about bridge. Then this is the kids' bedroom. This is a permanent ventilation, which I started giving. And then beautiful courtyard. So we had a debate on this wall, and I said that 7-story building will come here. So let us have this wall, and it is still surviving. And really that 7-story building is there. But the way this family uses, you can see that small window which I gave to their sons were then, they were very young. So I said they will look from this. So I gave 2 windows, one for Arjun and one for Akash, because my son's name is also Arjun and Akash, and theirs also, And this is a reading katta. Then during festival, library looks like this. And then, of course, dog also enjoys the view. And then he gave me this second project. This is a very beautiful farmhouse I'm designing for him, where it is a stepwell house. And I showed it to Doshi in 2018. But then for some reason, it was closed. And now, recently, last week, we visited. And suddenly, the landscape, this is the house actually. Suddenly, the landscape has become so beautiful. We were like in 2 minds, Really, we should build or just start living in here, So many plantation, everything has taken up, So that is the story of Iyer. And then this is Khadke house, where there are 2 staircases on east and west side. So sun comes up to the center. And some simple spaces. Luckily, they had a lot of teak wood, so I used it. There is a wind catcher from the top. You can see wind catcher and turbo ventilator, sucking the hot air. And this house is in Nashik. It's called Dhara Nivas. So then I established this properly. wind catchers and turbo ventilator, and that was my white phase. Almost all the houses I did white. You can see water inside. There are fountains here. So the wind catcher gets cold air from above. And this is a recent project where I have done house for Uday Bhavalkar. He is a Drupad player. And this is Swarkul. The name of the building is Swarkul, where he has his student, and he teaches 10 students in Guru Shishya Parampara. That is Uday Bhavalkar, and his daughter is learning from him. And he wanted a very large dining table, so all the students, they can sit together. There is a kitchen here, and if somebody is singing here, he commands from here also. So this dining table is very important to him. And then I said that 7-story building will come around, so why not we do, instead of 15 feet lawn on backside, where everybody will look into you, we'll do this kind of a space where you can have riyas. You can play here and student can listen. And now his daughter is in a drama, and she's going to do nice drama in February. This is in Lonavala. This is a single column building, 6-story building. One of my builder friend was after me. And I said, this width of the plot is just 40 feet. So if he puts too many columns, it will not work. So why not go for one column? And I thought he will just do 4 stories. So up to here, I am architect. Beyond this illegal construction is done by him. And still it is surviving. This is the office building. One young girl, Nikita Bhate, she is a daughter of Bhate, Mr. Bhate, who is Recast India Limited, big company, and she wanted her office there. And she is a furniture designer, and she wanted a design studio. So this is her design studio. There is a bedroom here, toilets, and then kitchen, dining, and living room. So idea is that architects come there, they stay there on Saturday, Sunday. They choose the furniture, they have a meeting, and then business is done. So this is all waste of hollow core slabs which they had in factory. And so you enter from here, you have art gallery here, amphitheater, and each room's height is different because this is the last floor. No extra floor is allowed here because this is in military area. But cross-section is very beautiful. So instead of going straight on the top and doing large retaining wall here, I thought I will go down, and all this is done from wastage of that hollow core slabs. And they did this building in 40 days, and we took 7 months to finish it. And it is like a small village. Now plantation is there. Now it looks different. This is my Shanwara staircase, You have to use your hand to go up, Lime plaster on the wall. Very subtle, very simple. Both the color matches, Everything is in grid. Bedroom. This is a water channel, precast water channel. They got it. I was so happy. We do a lot of programs here. Peter did here, and like 400 to 500 people come here. This is a sudden project which I got through USA. I don't know from where, but probably that was the beginning of finding architect online, And I was one lucky one, And then I did this. This is a very different house. All the walls are stone walls, 600 mm thick. And this is a tower. There's a Titanic balcony here. Initially, it didn't have railing, but I have one now. And this is the house. And then I did one institute building for them. The whole total land belongs to them. All this. This is the west side. In the evening, it looks like this. Again, ferrocement roof. And this is Tare Zameen Par. So that film was, and all these chairs are Corbusier chair, and 12 chairs, and each one can enjoy the stars above. Solid stone, you know. All the bedroom have 1.5 feet thick, you know, mud and cocoa. And this is the view. This is the dining room, and one of the bedroom also gets this view outside. This is open toilet, another toilet, and so here you can actually see the star, because it's so dark at night, you know, there is no light pollution here. And nothing happens here, you know, it is all barren. And this is the institute right opposite. So I developed a very steep roof, you know, because I was so worried because we have very heavy rain there. This is Brick School of Architecture, where, you know, I have 4 studios here, some classrooms, and this is administration area. You enter from here. And all the studio are connected with each other, first year, second, third, fourth year. And each studio have 2 mezzanines, so 10 students can sit on top. And central part can be a large glass table where, you know, we can have discussion. So you can see here, these are the 2 mezzanine, and 20 feet height here, 20 feet height here, and building goes low. And so I was really worried because all institute building in Maharashtra, for no reason, I don't know, they go 12 feet up, you know, with staircase, and then they have 2 correction column. Right in the center, there is a photo of that politician in the center. Unfortunately, I have one statue here, but anyway. So I said that I should stop that, and just for the rain, I just did 175 mm step. And that's the entry. Everybody asked me reason for this 5 columns, so I don't know. So I every time give a different answer to them. It is a Pancha Tattva and all that, you know. Bit of Louis Kahn used to come. And I wanted to develop various kind of bridge. I already have done 3 bridges here. So student can actually directly learn during that studies, you know. So this is a Muktangan. There is another space called Tarangan. Each studio is architect's name. Library is Charles Correa Library. This is tsunami chair. My wife said that we have a lot of junk in garage. If you don't clear it in 1 week, then we are going to throw it away. So all my team started, and we did this tsunami chair, which is 13 feet long. And this is Gaurav. Gaurav all the way from Lonavala came on his motorbike to meet me here. So he's there, and he's the model here. And this is a dog house I did, so we made a nice drawing for dog, you know. And we built also. This is because I wanted to learn ferrocement. So I asked my client that, please give me some money. He gave me 15,000 rupees. I did a dog house, and what happened? Dog was not ready to go in, you know. So I said, this is not fair. I have to record this building. You know, such a beautiful drawings and such a beautiful building I have designed. So this is me. And then I started studying windows from a long time. I'm really fascinated by windows, you know. And I thought that Rajasthan have such amazing windows like here. This is a 3 stone slabs actually. There is a sun and moon, symbol of permanence, upper jali, lower jali, and there is a window from where you can see marriages and process. And this is a Janana window. So both the women will sit here and they can open this small window and they can look out, So I thought this is amazing. This is ready-made, comes in the market. You have to just buy it and use it, And this is another window where stones are put, And he looks very happy because yesterday night he had a nice time. So I really like this photo. It's taken by Ria Riker. She's also here. This is Arjun door. I gave name to all my son. And this is another door, window. This is recent where, light comes in. This is for the Kabir, my grandson, because he likes color. And this window is for me, my wife Sadhna. So somebody asked me why Sadhna. I said this is the most complicated, This recent exhibition, it is etching up. Charles Correa visited my office. I am showing him that lake house. He was so nice to me. Anant Raje came. That's Gaurav, that's Prasanna, and me. And then we started celebrating Doshi, We always loved Doshi. So this is my gang. We call it Road Room Open to Art Design. And this is Prasanna and Divya. They did this house. And Divya does such a beautiful drawings, of each of their building. Gaurav and Aishwarya, they did this building in Talegaon. And this is his own house, just recently completed in Lonavala. So all these people are around me, Pankaj and Pallavi, and beautiful building they make, So we are so happy, and of course Avinash, he's our foreign connect, from Pune to Bangalore. But amazing architecture. And this is last but not the least, is Santosh Pisar. He actually was a mason. His father was a mason. They used to do plaster, brick walls, and he, in young time, used to work with his father. And if they have a uramba is like plum, and tape in their pocket. If it is not there, father will punish them, And that is how once the architect used to come on site and he will never leave the car, and from window only he will tell, you do this, you do that, you break that. So once he asked his father, who is this guy, and why he's so angry always, So he said that he is an architect, he's a very important person. So he said, then I want to be an architect, I will do architecture. And then problem for the father started. He said that I have to sell my land and all, but I will do it, but I will make you an architect. And he became an architect, working 5 years in the college. And this is the building he has done. Just imagine, he spent all young days in 3 slums, fighting, drugs, all that, and amazing house he has done. And Viram Shah, he's a designing dukan, another who used to hang out in my office for many years because he never liked to go to college. And I promised him that I will not tell your mother. So you spend time in my office. That's Doshi, V.D. Joshi, my mother, and Doshi. And these are all my gurus. At various part of life, I learned. There is this Gisubai who told me how to make flooring, what to look into flooring, what are to be drawings done, wooden, wooden furniture, then walls, and this is my team. And this is the team which made this exhibition possible. There are many people, but on time they never gave photos. But next time I will have complete. Those Joshi and Doshi. So he's Joshi, he's Doshi, both Guru. They are in Sangat. This is a very rare photo. And this is a photo on airport. Doshi told me that on airport, every time if you come and meet me or take me, then I will know that you are doing a good work. If you don't come, then I know that you are hiding from me. I said, sir, never it will happen. And all 43 years, from 80 to 23 till his death, I was always there on airport. So this is me, Marathi, Girish, and journey, each one has a journey. This is my journey, small journey here. So I want to end this with two films. One is for 1 minute, another is for 9 minutes. And please, silently, it's amazing actually. Thank you.
बायकॉपला काहीतरी पाहिजे म्हटलं जर वाटलं तर आपण मोठी प्रिंट लावू प्लॅनची. मी त्याला ते बोललो म्हटलं प्रिंट करू, तसं मॉडेल नको करत बसू.
एजला पण तिचं मी तुम्हाला फोटो देतो. एज पण जरी
फोल्ड केली 15 फूट किंवा 10 फुटाची इमेज आहे जी आपण म्हणजे जमिनीपासून एक 7-8 इंचावरतीच येते.
सारखेला आपलं एक्झिबिशन आहे 41 मीटर आहे. 41 मीटर
एक्झॅक्टली शेवटी आपण काय करायचं.
सर्वच वाईज मला कळलं वाईज म्हणजे हा एकदा क्वेश्चन
मी तिला काय म्हटलं बुद्धीचा कमीत कमी जेवढा वापर करता येईल तेवढा वापर
कॉमन पर्सन कळलं पाहिजे
बस.
My childhood always comes back. I have no constraints because of that. I am free because I am a child. So discovery becomes important. I continuously try to discover something that I had not seen or experienced before. So my notion of architecture, therefore, is not a theory, or a building designed as a design, but to me it is like an organism, growing organism. So when there is a growing organism, it is very close to nature. Because like nature, It has its own rules and laws, but all depend upon the cosmic forces. You look at the sun, you look at the rain, you look at wind, you look at people, you look at earth, you look at the resources. While you are doing this and understanding this, you also understand that nature recycles. Nature constantly goes, merges, and nature doesn't have any waste. Create integrity. And if you have integrity, life will happen.
Is it on? Thank you for that wonderful presentation, Girish sir. The body of work exhibited successfully functions as a catalyst to demystify architecture, allowing a more humane, accessible, and meaningful connection. Architect Sumitro Ghosh is the co-founder of Matthew and Ghosh, a Bengaluru-based practice whose work has played a significant role in shaping contemporary architectural discourse in India. Sumitro Ghosh's work within the practice is marked by a rigorous engagement with material, construction, tectonics, and a deep interest in how buildings are made as much as how they are perceived. Across institutional, residential, and urban projects, his work is characterized by structural clarity, material honesty, and spatial restraint. The buildings often reveal themselves rather than conceal them, where structure, services, and envelopes are integral to architectural expression. The Museum of Art and Photography is one such example. Their other public works in Bangalore include Freedom Park and the National Martyrs Memorial, among others. I would like to invite Girish sir and Sumitro on the floor for a conversation.
Go easy on me.
No, that's what he's been saying for the last few days. Apologies for the long introduction. I think you should have asked for a shorter one, because I thought I was going to give another lecture now. But thank you, Girish, for such a wonderful, the way you took us through your journey of the practice. And so Girish left in '87, and I think I went for internship in '89 to Doshi's office. So I'd heard the name. I'd never met him till quite a few years later when we met in Pune. And I think you were at also the Brick School when, that's the first time I went and we discussed work. Yeah. So, I mean, I've been looking deeper into Girish's work. I've seen some of them, and now I know a lot more. So I do want to start with one paragraph from his book, because Girish doesn't write much. But I think they're quite loaded, and that's where I'll start. Can we not redefine what modern means by blending it with the richness of traditional elements? Ota, Angan, Kund. I see no reason why even within these number-crunched towers that we cannot give people a variety of spaces. Few steps to sit on, an unexpected bench, a terrace to fly kites or dry spices, or a court that frames the twinkling sky at night. Spaces that may be small but alive, sites for accidental encounters and deliberate gatherings. And perhaps one day, in the midst of a celebration, the place they are in will revive in their mind memories of a past so vivid that they will demand nothing less for their future. So few things which I'm quite curious. The first of, especially from the exhibition, and thank you for the book, is the curious absence of sketches, which I know you do.
Yeah, sketches actually generally are supposed to be done for yourself. So I never thought that, and after looking at Doshi's sketches throughout my 7 years, कुछ हिम्मत ही नहीं हुआ, So, but yeah, I do some sketches. First thinking always happens in the sketch, but I never thought that they are to be put in a public discourse or anywhere, So I avoided that, It is purposely avoided actually. But through three-dimensional drawings and sitting on drawing board for a very long time every day, to me is very important than even sketches also, because every day when we sit on a drawing board, I have this triangular method, where I sit in the center and Sakshi and Riya sit here and there, and three of us, we just rotate, I work simultaneously on 2 projects, and there each and every line we discuss amongst us, and then we try to do. So where expressions are given, where we talk about life, in between we go for coffee and things like that. So somewhere I think during those hours, the kind of architecture comes out. So to me that is very important, more than sketches.
So there are some things which I've been trying to read into the drawings and the models and the architecture is, which I want to touch upon to understand it better, which is about, if I look at the structure, and I know that it's very, very precisely thought of. It is, and it is not mathematical in the sense it's not a rigid thing, because it almost, if I look at the plans and how they're abstracted, they're almost like tapestries. They're literally like as an opened out weave, which is coming together. And it's making a kind of, it's like it's a tight weave which has just been spilt out as if it's been wet and it is now something else. So how do you see, because I see a lot of, in the architecture I do see that there are a lot of traces of Khan but processed through Doshi.
True.
In the plans. How do you see this, your process when you work with this grid which feels actually very light thereafter?
Generally, the area which I chose after working with Vishnu Joshi, in Doshi's office, we used to do very large projects, and I also was working on a very large project. But in between that episode with episode of seeing that small house for Leo Pereira, suddenly I started had a more interest in. And working with V.D. Joshi in paint, suddenly I found new freedom in second-tier cities and three-tier cities where lorry bakerish requirements are there, where people, so I thought, why not these people can have skylight, why can't they have light, space and proportion which Corbusier talks of, or wall like, Louis Barragan. So why not they can have all that, with their given small budget of their houses on a very tight plot. So my first house was on 60 feet by 40 feet plot, and the house size was just 25 feet by 35 feet. So I thought this is a good beginning, where I can put my greed and all my energies, into it, and just thinking inside out and sometimes outside in, but mostly I think inside out, To me, courtyard or some kind of a light which comes from above becomes very important, because always Korea also talked of sky, as an element, And of course, our old houses in Rajasthan or south of India, if you go, in the smallest house will have a nice courtyard, And that is where the thinking started, actually. And then around it, I used to weave the story, So storytelling skill I understood from Doshi, and he talks about life also. So three elements like space, light, and proportion, and then you add life and storytelling into it. Like in Ayer's house, you have a nice story from, it starts from the puja room at lower level and goes up to his study on top with some bridges crossing. So no client tells you that you give me 2 bedroom, 1 kitchen, and then you give me 1 bridge. So I thought that that is my, I should do that, I should vibrate them, and that happened, So there's a beautiful bridge, and all the kids who grow there are 2 staircases, so they play around it, things like that. So certain thing I do out of curiosity, that what will happen if I give 2 staircases. And luckily, he's here. He's not a middle class, He has a little more money, so I can play with his house, And he's using for last 25 years, So, and I'm really proud of that house, how it has happened and the way they have maintained it, So sometimes I think this kind of thing are very important,
Yeah, I think you spoke about, making of the courtyard, and that's something which I saw that it, the way you use it is not a formal courtyard. It's a kind of new interiority which you now create within the house, and it quite intrigues me because most of the time you're circumambulating.
True.
You are kind of spinning around this little thing in different ways, and always, like you said, that you are seeing sky as a kind of sign of hope and possibilities, and it's a positive thing which is little more sure than the 7-story building which is going to come next door. So it's, yeah, I think because even in your institutional projects, it's almost feeling like it has just opened up. It's the same idea, but it's opening up.
Yeah, true. Many houses together, in my larger building, I think with houses, and then they are come together and they become the institute. So yes, I mean, I have to still grasp the institutional scale. Maybe in someday I will do it, But I'm trying my best, wherever I get opportunity.
I think that it really captures that. I mean, when you mentioned that when you went back to Pune, that there was nobody waiting for you with rose petals on the floor.
Absolutely true.
And but I think when I met you on Saturday, you also mentioned something very nice, that it was a different world, because suddenly from big clients and while you were at Doshi's, that suddenly the world had changed, that you realized that here I am and in this town where perhaps there is lesser money, there is, it's a completely different scenario. And you accepted it readily, which was very amazing. And I mean, knowing you that how much you love music, and nobody who's gone and met Girish has not gone to his favorite places of food. Nobody has missed the right things, which are not to be missed in Pune. Because I think you've kind of humbled down a serious pursuit which you follow of making of buildings, and yet you make it very, very humble and normal as a thing. And that's the reason I guess you don't articulate so much in words normally. You think about it, you do it, and then sometimes you are very happy with accidents which happen, you know, and you love them. So that's actually very much like what Doshi was, you know. Do you want to say something about that from your anecdotes with Doshi?
If I start speaking about Doshi, it will take many hours. But anyway, few incidences I can actually narrate, you know. So generally, some 3 young students, you know, used to work day and night, you know. And we in the office we had a Marathi gang, you know, like 5 Marathi very dangerous architects coming together, and we cornered one area of the studio, you know. And somehow Doshi used to give us more drawings to make because we will deliver it in time, you know. And then early morning we have to take a cycle and go to airport and give him 4 sets of drawings, you know, large drawings, 4 sets. And invariably plane will be late, you know. I thought that intentionally Doshi used to make it late, you know. And then he will take our tickets, call us inside and then open one drawing. And he will sketch, he will change everything and tell us, now go back to the office and draw it, you know. So our chutti, our vacation is gone. Like 2-3 days again we have to, and when he will come back, we always were very curious that really he looks at that drawing carefully or not, you know. So sometimes he will look at those drawings carefully, but sometimes not, you know. But I think that is how his idea of grasping spaces, you know, so because he used to do a lot of work on one building, you know. He was never happy with any plan, you know. He would love to change plan every day, you know. Something, new thing will come out, and at one point will come where he will be very happy. And maybe some drawing which we have made, he will come back and tell us that now I have made this drawing, you draw it, you know. And most of the time those drawings are made by us only, you know. So, but yeah, that is how he used to work, and yeah, it was very nice, you know, the way office used to run. And he will go abroad, and then he meets some big architect there, master architect, will come back, see he has given me this book, and he will give a safer pen, and you know. So very kind. Early years he was tough, but then in the end he was so nice, you know, actually. And he had a very different ideas of teaching students, you know, the way he used to teach, you know. Now we feel that he was a great teacher, you know, than architect, you know, because so many incidences comes to my mind, and I suddenly realize that certain thing which he has done is so important, you know. And of course, special relationship with Purushottam Bhai. That was amazing skill, you know, making models every time, finding new building. So some walls, and there will be fight between Purushottam Bhai and Doshi, that because Purushottam Bhai will understand it in 3D, and will tell Doshi that this corner is not working. When you meet 2 walls, this corner will not work. But then initially Doshi will be angry, and then he will say, okay, now you show me what you are saying, you know, and then that will be done, you know. So, and we were observing all this, and every evening he will sit around 7 o'clock and talk to us about what we did in today, you know. And always he told us that you always put drawings vertical, you know. He never liked to work on a flat drawing like that on drawing board. Always he used to see drawing from 10 feet away and especially the housing projects, So he used to work on negative and positive space, and for filling the space, he will have thick pen, and then suddenly the open spaces will emerge, You can see how he's looking at open spaces, like especially in my SAR building. I remembered him so much, because first time I understood that outside spaces are also equally important than what you do with. So these are some skills. And of course, he must have learned it from Corbusier. And I could see in Corbusier's sketches also all those kind of etchings, but always ready with pen, diary, tape, and four pocket shirt. And Corbusier also did it, Doshi also did it, but I tried, but it doesn't work, Because with shirt, everything doesn't happen. You have to have something here. So, but anyway, there are some different species, Doshi, Corbusier.
I do see some. There are some evident patterns, but I think one similarity especially with Sangat and certain other projects where Doshi makes it very difficult to discern, or the way he deals with land and the building. And that happens very often in a lot of your buildings, actually. But with sharper geometry most of the time. And always the buildings are creating this void of being generous, of just opening themselves up. So this fascination of the community or society and bringing that in, was that always something which, or that's perhaps part of your nature, or how is it?
It's part of my nature, because initially I have a lot of Gujarati clients, so you learn a lot from them. When you give drawings to Gujarati clients, you change so much every day. Recently I have given 36 alternative, and so for a very small 2,000 square feet house, and then suddenly you realize that, my God, architecture has so much to give. I'm just joking, but yeah. So Shraddha, Saburi, and Sadhana. So Riyaz is very important. Shraddha to bahut lagti hai, because client sometimes will pay you, or sometimes will not pay you. And Saburi. So chalta hi rehta hai, like, so Shraddha, Saburi, and Sadhana is what 3 words comes to my mind,
Maybe you can show the plan that, this is the place to give money also. It's open. It's the open hand in another way.
No, though I am a Gujarati, but it never happens, So, but anyway, that apart, but enjoying things in smaller way, which probably I learned from Leo Pereira, the way he sits, in his office, and the way he works, like his model maker sits in a toilet duct actually in his office. And he always looks from the window that give me some work. And 2 trainees and maybe, if possible, 1 architect. And this amazing man, I don't know how he creates architecture, but absolutely, if you see his Bhavnagar and other projects, my God, he's world-class architect actually to me. So
That's very true.
These 3 people happened to me: Doshi, Leo Pereira, and Vishnu Joshi. So without those 3 people, I'm nothing, And all that happened because of my trip to Ahmedabad, So
I think something for me to share about Purushottam Bhai was one incident where he said, come, I'll show you that in a number of projects, there is a little shoe in Doshi's building. And that shoe looks like the map of Italy. So then he showed me 3-4 places. I said, wow, this is so interesting that it appears. He knew that it's coming. It was not deliberate.
True.
But it was there. He knew it very much. I think one other thing which, before we open it up, I'm sure there are questions that the audience would like to ask, which is an observation which was interesting for me. that when I look at your interior facades, and more so as it comes into the later buildings, they almost look like as if it's the same strategy as Scarpa bringing elements and putting them into a facade. And that is no different from the making of a lot of the facades with the Vada windows.
True.
And that's, I mean, it has certain delicateness, it has also surface, but it almost crosses that boundary of being similar to a Vada, but takes it out from that to this white, abstract plane, which is quite interesting the way you do it, and then you open them up and you create this huge transparency from one end to the other end, which changes not so much the perception of space, because architects love to use these terms, but I think it changes how people live.
True.
So was that something which, and a lot of the spaces seem to have drawn quite deeply, I mean in the deeper sense, from Doshi's buildings, the colors and a lot of those aspects. So do they kind of come back or they're constantly churning?
Yes, some of them, there is some technicality. For example, Vada window has this vertical proportion where there are two squares. So most of the Vada upper window you can open during the day, and lower window will have grill. You know? So at night time you close the upper window and open the lower window. So even kids are there playing there, you know, it will have security. At the same time you get a wind at required level. So if you are sleeping, mostly they used to sleep on floor, but if you have a bed also, you can get a nice wind from lower level. And since it is vertical, you have more of a wall area, which is very important in load-bearing building. So if you have horizontal window, and I never open it to 12 feet, or I hate it, you know, like, because to me it is very English, you know, it is not Indian, you know. Any of Pune building, if you see, they never will have large window openings. And I love about Charles Correa is that even in Kanchenjunga, he will have a very tiny, simple, small window for the toilets, which are not noticed also when you see the whole thing, you know. It's so surprising. Every time he uses that window throughout his life. And throughout his life, he has the same way gate will open, gates, you know, whatever, you know, always these two windows, you know. One upper, it is a Goa also, and olden time they used to do, even in Pune also they do it. So I love it, you know, two window above, two window bottom, and very simple. And if it is hard, and then you can have a little bit of a ventilator above to have light, and during deep summer you can close those windows. And you can have darkness inside, which I learned from Rajkot. You know, Rajkot people, for the heat, they do it, you know, they put water on the floor, and they, afternoon, after having their chas and gatia, jalebi, you know, they deeply sleep, you know, on that bed of water, you know. I just really love it, you know. The siesta is a very important thing. Unfortunately, I don't take it now, but I always loved siesta, you know, that sleeping in the afternoon is so important, you know. So my house should be ready for that, you know. And I don't like curtains and pardas, you know, all that, you know, furniture. I really don't like it.
Yeah, I think this is totally inspiring for a Bengali, because Bengalis are famous to have thick curtains, and it's a rule to sleep in the afternoon. You're disqualified from being a Bengali if you don't. So, yeah, I see that you, and I appreciate how grateful you are to your teachers and people who have been part of very formative years, you know, of your journey. And I would like you to share a few words because there are a lot of young architects, to share something for them before perhaps they ask you questions too.
Yeah, in my school time, I remember one teacher, Parshikar sir, and my third year drawing, I used to take my drawings in a roll with a proper plastic cover to it. And during that time, rubber band were not available, thicker rubber band. So we used to take a cycle tube and cut it, And then that old kind of a cycle, you just put that roll. Very important drawing, where I have spent one complete month on rendering and things and then protect it. And it was always folded other way. So when I opened it in front of Parshikar sir, those drawings, my third year drawings, he was so happy, And I can see his eyes are moist. And that is where, I understood that if my drawing power can do this, if I do meaningful architecture, what will happen? So sometimes I think this teacher give you that direction. And in Pune, we always say in Marathi, "Bhiu nako mi patishi hai." So somebody is behind you, Even on rickshaws also it is written, "Bhiu nako mi patishi hai." But sometimes it's very dangerous to drive near rickshaw. But anyway, so that "Bhiu nako patishi hai," so I always think that somebody comes, especially Brick School of Architecture. Till this point, I don't understand how I designed that building. I really don't remember anything. But building is there, So sometimes I think someone comes to you and luckily me and Ajit, one of my assistant, we worked on it for 4 months, day and night, And single drawing, So I sit next to him, he draws and I tell him, So sometimes those kind of mixtures happen and something gets happened, you do some project, So, yeah, I don't know. Methodically, I don't do anything, I really can't answer certain questions, which, so I read sometimes book, I try to understand what all these great people they do, to deserve that, all that. But then I keep that book aside, after a while, So, yeah.
Yeah, I think we can open the floor for questions. Could we have the lights, please, for the audience? Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking us through your journey. I'm here. So, I'm very curious when you talked about so many influences, 2-3 things if you were to shed light on. If one, we have heard that you are a great appreciator of music. And even when we were seeing the works, at least I felt that there's a lot of music that flows. And if I'm wrong, you may correct me, but what would be that influence on your work and on your design process? Second, you talk about interiority so much, and you didn't really spend time on what your experience with interior design projects were like. Maybe there's something that didn't work, but if you were to tell us if there were influences from there. And the third is Pune itself as a changing landscape of architectural practices. How has it shaped or impacted your practice? So music, interior design or interiority as a practice.
As far as music is concerned, I actually did a building for Uday Bhavakar. I did a building for Bhimsen Joshi ji, and always I was connected with these families, and of course we have a tradition of listening to classical music in Pune. Like Bhimsen Joshi will sing for the common people on road, an amazing man, And I was very fortunate that almost 5 years I could meet him, and I was supposed to actually represent Doshi during that Savai Gandharv Smarak which we did. So I think probably it is there abstractly, and it won't be correct to say that I'm a music lover. I like music, but I don't understand it, to tell you frankly. But yes, I understand which is a good music, and I like people to come, and like Uke's wife came to Pune and she did a fantastic concert, and so I like, that music happens around us, And interior, absolutely I don't like, because any good building, I don't understand why interiors are done, So first day they ordered 36 plywood, and all the walls are covered with those plywood, And that too marine ply, and the most costliest, Straight away you take your fee, why, like waste, forest and forest are killed for that, So I think nice, simple. Nowadays I use 350 brick walls with cavity inside, if possible. If the mason is not good, I just go for traditional wall. I don't experiment. And those walls will suffice, They are so strong, so nice. You get a very thick wall for your weather shade also. So I think that is perfect. I do detail layout, interior layout. Anyway, for your electric points you have to give. But that I will do very carefully. We go again and again on that. So this is interior. And what was the third question?
Pune, the changing landscapes
So
of Pune.
Pune, my area is about radius of about 5 kilometers. So beyond that is not my Pune. It is either Bombay, either it is Bangalore or whatever. So once in a while in my small car, if I try to go on that side, luckily that now because of Google and one assistant next to me, I can monitor, But otherwise, that is not my Pune. So my Pune starts with my house, goes to, farthest it goes to Rupali Hotel, and nearest is Vaishali Hotel. And Sunday early morning, I go to either Badekar Misal or go to Sri Krishna Misal. So Sri Krishna Misal is little far, so I send my son that please get Misal from there. And Badekar, I always go because there is always a fight when you go there, Before getting a place, you have to fight, And I'm really expert in that. It gives me such a kick, when I get my... So I think this is a Pune which I have, And my school, Abhinav Kala Mahavidyalaya, is also in line of that, where we used to cycle down. So my house to Alka Theatre, cycle will go without any brake, You have to just leave it, I will reach there, and then you have to go up to the Abhinav Kala. And other way, 50% is done on the slope of Pune. Now it is all two-way and a lot of things, big buses trying to kill you and all that. But I don't go up to my school also now. My end happens now to the Vaishali. So now we have a group called Jugnu. So at night, 9:30 to 11, on Monday, Wednesday and Friday, we all Jugnu people, we shine there, And there are very heavy discussions on architecture, like somebody will say this, that. So I have, right now, I think today morning I did one, so we have 45 members. Once in a while, and to me it is very convenient because I have to just walk down there and I have to sit. Somebody comes and we start talking. So I mean, I'm not joking. This is a simple thing. I've worked on it, and I live like that, And luckily my father gave me this beautiful house almost 53 years ago. And the toughest part for any young architect to survive is getting their office, getting their house. I've seen people struggling so much. So maybe I'm very blessed, I'm very lucky that all happened around me, So, but yeah, it is stark reality. People have gone up to 100 meter, maybe 50 floors, and I don't know what, because many times I thought that I should sometimes design, at least to understand myself, 50-story building. But himmat hi nahi hota hai, like the moment I sit on a drawing board, thoughts doesn't come, Hopefully I will not do it this time, maybe next time. I will start with builder's project,
Hi, it's a very nice presentation. I really loved each and every project of yours. So one question is, how do you convince clients to get there? Like you said, people compared. There was, I think it was a second home. There was a typical home, and then yours was full niche cutouts, skylights. How do you convince clients? Can you give some tips for us, the young architects, to convince clients to, because we want to do that, but I don't think we
Sometimes
can.
you are lucky, you get a crazy client, and Dhiren Kurani is a crazy client, and I had absolute fun with that second project. But I can tell you one story, one client must have seen somewhere some grill, for the window, which has a, kind of a sitara and all that. And my house was very simple, and I thought that there shouldn't be any grill. But even if there is a grill, I will do vertical so it doesn't collect dust and all. So I gave that design to him, and he was not convinced, and he kept on pressurizing me to do that grill, So then I told 3 girls in my office, they were trainees, that you go there and you start crying, that my boss doesn't sleep, he's so worried, and he doesn't want to do that, and why you want to that, He says that grill is for security. Security is not required, but the way we stay, but we have to look out, and grill. There is nothing in grill, What do you want to see in grill, Just get away from it, And I was succeeded, I was successful. I'm just joking. Just one incident I told you, but yes, being a Gujarati Banya helps. Working with Doshi for 7 years surely helps, and some Hindi picture I keep seeing, like recently I seen Durandar also. So certain films which makes no sense, you have to see, So you can make out sense from the client, So yeah, there are many ways of doing things. India is amazing. We have amazing world, in India. We are the best, So I don't want to go anywhere, I'm very happy with my Pune and my 5-kilometer radius.
But I think 7-storied building is a good idea. We can probably try how we can.
No, I think hard work, and a lot of thinking, making a lot of models, to convince client, So when I say that 35 alternatives I gave, so those 35 alternatives I gave for myself, not for him. I was trying to understand myself, within given small space, what all I can do, And we are actually making a book out of it, what all changes we have done. And we are trying to make I just told Sakshi that we'll make a nice book out of it. And try to understand ourselves that accidentally what all you do every day, It is amazing, sometimes what you do is, it's a simple courtyard house. Maybe someday I will, in my presentation, I will show you that whole process, If first I understand that, then I will definitely tell you,
Thank you, sir.
I think, Girish, thank you for adding that new point for the new job description for interns and architects, what they have to do when we don't want to do something. All Bangalore architects are grateful.
I pay them, So now I have only one intern. If also on his own he comes, then I take. But otherwise, we are happy with our small office, 7 meter by 3.5 meter.
Any more questions? Yeah. Thank you, Girish, for, I do want to end with 2 lines from your writing, because I think it touches upon something which is valuable. And yeah, I believe we all have 2 houses, the inner for the individuals and family, and the outer where we interact with our neighbors and larger communities. For architects to be called upon to plan the outer house has become increasingly rare. And so, in my practice, I have tried to replicate these hierarchies within the microcosm of the inner house. The living space becomes a courtyard, and then you elaborate more on this. Thank you for bringing the exhibition. Thank you to Exchange and the team which has, when Bijoy asked me, but will you, we have one more question, Okay. So, could we have the mic there, please? Ajay is from Nagpur and he's
he's
also from the
Aurangabad.
Aurangabad, sorry, and
We
almost
worked
from the
together.
same time
Yes.
at Doshi's office.
Actually, nothing was new for me in Girish's presentation because we together worked on Yashoda. When Girish came from Doshi's office and he was interested in the job of Yashoda, immediately Doshi sent me on Yashoda also. So since that time till today, this is for the youngsters. This is for extremely responsible architectural practice. What we must learn from Girish. All the works that are displayed in the exhibition, I not only know them, but I've seen them coming up. I see Girish as a wanderer, a dervish. He is on a mission to do pure architecture. And the first question the girl asked, whether Pune has influenced him, it will never influence him. Forget about Girish's lighter expression of 5 kilometers. Girish is far beyond that. Girish's commitment to pure architecture is something which Pune could never influence him. Forget about his saying he will never construct multi-story. He will. Very simply he can do it. That's his power. But this passion and a continuous drive to do good architecture is something which the young generation must learn from Girish. It's something amazing, which I have not seen in very good architects whom I personally know. Needless to mention any names here, no need to mention names. But Girish is a committed architect. Sabna is a witness to what kind of a committed yogi he is. He is never out of architecture. Every breath is architecture for Girish. And that's his power. Now, you asked a question about, there is a order of Louis Khan, but expression of a Doshi. I see Girish's architecture divided of both. Girish has his own expression. It was very easy for Girish to capture Doshi's aura, and he carries that influence of Doshi even now. You must have seen him. When he talks about Doshi, he becomes very passionate and emotional. But that is to the extent of a guru has not allowed it to come to his architecture. Girish's architecture is 100% Girish's architecture. And I'm extremely proud of that. And it's something which is very rare to see.
Thanks, Ajay. Thank you, Girish, for this wonderful exhibition, which is still on till the 12th. And so please do spend more time. We have exceeded our time limit here. Thank you for the lovely talk. Thank you, Girish.
Thank you, Girish sir and Soumitro, for your invaluable inputs. I'm truly convinced that every individual here, irrespective of their involvement in the design fraternity, has something to reflect on from today's conversations. As we near the end to this evening, I would like to invite architect Bijoy Ramchandran, partner at 100 Hands, for the closing address.
Yeah, sorry to keep you for a little longer. We have some thank yous to say. Well, first of all, thank you, Girish. Where are you? Thank you, Girish, for that incredible presentation and also the conversation. I mean, you wear your erudition and your expertise so lightly. It's quite something to behold. So thank you for coming to Bangalore, for bringing the exhibition and making the presentation. And thank you also to Sadhana for coming with Girish. It's always so nice to see both of you together. Heartfelt thank you. Having known B.V. Doshi, the Pritzker laureate, and my brother and I made some films on him, and so we spent a lot of time with him. Of course, Pritzker laureate, master architect, all of that. I have always felt that Girish carries that same spirit in him. Like Doshi, Girish is a complete family man. In the sense that he absorbs all who spend time with him into the sphere of his family. He has been instrumental in making many successful marriages. One young couple is here with us today, this evening. And he always seems to be on the lookout for suitable prospects. So if any of you are seeking, I think you should meet Girish after the presentation. His office in Pune is a refuge. Every time I've been there, it's bustling with visitors. Of course, it's a busy office, there's work going on, but there's invariably a group of students, other architects, It's a place where a young student or a practitioner come, not just for academic or professional help, but to also sort out their personal affairs or clear their deep existential crisis, whatever you may have, or simply to drag him out to Rupali or Vaishali for tea. And Girish never says no. So, like Doshi, so that's Doshi, Girish, the family man. Like Doshi, Girish is also a consummate architect, as you've seen in the presentation and in the exhibition. His self-effacing and light persona belie the precision and discipline embedded in those incredible plans. Spatially, these rigorous, I think, mathematical diagrams seem to transcend their strict rhythms and are full of experientially rich variation and quality. Colin Rowe once said, that there are two kinds of architects. There are plan people and there are section people. Girish muddles this distinction. And the projects can be appreciated both as distilled or pure plans, organized on a clear system of grids and articulated sections with wonderful variations in the ground plane, multiple perches for vantage, and evoking memories of tight inner city houses. But most importantly, as a consummate architect, and you heard him explain this to one of the questions, is his incredible ability to convince, to negotiate, and come to this, what is really striking about the exhibition is this kind of rigor and riyaz in the work, that there is here a body of work that seems to be consistent. It is searching for some sort of ideal, and that search is irrespective of the conditions in which the work is made, that it is an artist or an architect seeking that purity. I think Ajay mentioned that in a beautiful way. And that comes through in the projects from the smallest house to the big institution. So that, like his guru Doshi, Girish is also a consummate architect, a complete architect. And finally, like Doshi, Girish is a natural teacher. Being with him is a complete education in how to conduct oneself in life with humility, with great generosity, and most importantly, with wonderful humor. Thank you, Girish, for being here again. I am sure that this presentation and your exhibition will be long remembered here in Bengaluru. I also want to thank Shumitro for that wonderful conversation. I really enjoyed it. I know you did a fair bit of research. You sacrificed a whole Sunday afternoon here at Sabha, and I think have spent a lot of time looking at Girish's work, so thank you for that. Your generosity and curiosity inspire us. So please, Shumitra, could you come up? I'd like Girish to give you a small token of our appreciation. Thank you. Without the help of Siddharth, Vikram, Rohit, Ambika of Quatrolux, Ram Ceramics, and PC Sampath, none of this would have been possible. And they have been supporting us right from the start. So please, Siddharth, could you come up again? Girish, again, I'm going to request you to give Siddharth a small token. This is a copy of Girish's book. Thank you. And I would like to mention Divya Jyoti and Prasanna More of PMA Madhushala. Divya actually curated the show. It's exceptionally curated. I think someone had mentioned that as you get into that room, all of the axial conditions, there are these points of interest. It's really set up as if the show was made for this room. So I think Divya has done an amazing job. And Suraj Pawar and his team at Spandan Design Studio, all those incredible models, the 1:30 models were all made at his office. It's incredible. I mean, this whole, we saw it in those films, this kind of, a little guild of friends and teachers together working towards something. So thank you for that amazing exhibition that, all of you have put together for us. And lastly, I would like to thank, the team here in Bangalore who helped with all of it. Ganga Sagar, the carpenter, and his team. They came at very short notice to help setting it up. Prism Lights, who gave us additional lights for flat. Jeernodhar Conservators, the contractors who actually made, Sabha. They helped, unloading a lot of the crates, etc. And our colleagues at Earth Threshold and 100 Hands for helping put everything together. Thank you for coming out in such large numbers. I hope you will come again when we have our next event. I'd like to just mention Sujit, Smaran, Aruna, Sunitha, and of course Smaran's partners Vikram. And so this is a group, and we hope that we can bring more such wonderful events to Bangalore. So thank you for coming.
Thank you all for your time and presence. Good night.